श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। उकारस्वन्धकारो वै उकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्लोका 40 इत्थमन्योन्यतादात्म्य प्रतिपत्तिर्यदा भवेत् अब्रह्मत्वं त्वमर्थस्य व्यावर्तेत तदैव हि। If you look at our life, it is all about Nityam and Anityam. I was thinking this morning, it's all about Nityam and Anityam, and the choice is before us. And Anityam is always changing and it is not going to be there, but it is attractive. Nityam is silent, not available, not seen, and it is always the interlude and the adhisthanam of the Anityam. Everything that is Anityam is based on the Nityam. And what is attractive to us is what is externally seen. And we always get carried away by that, even though we have knowledge. We have knowledge that a human body is nothing but flesh and bone. Mamsa vikaram. Yet we get attracted. It's the beauty of Maya at that level. I just remember once I had a discussion with the editor of Ramakrishna Vijayam. He used to talk to me every day. Even night, 12 o'clock, he will call me and give me an assignment, ask me to give it 6 o'clock in the morning. That is Ramakrishna Math. So much busy. They work very hard. There was a series of articles written by this author, who is the editor of this magazine itself. And it has to be released in English translation. And he asked me to see about 10 to 12 translations of 40, 50 articles over a small period he gave. And finally, there was an article which talks about Vivekananda and his Vairagyam to Maya. And there are 4 incidences in his life that a lady comes, attracts, and she finds nothing could be done. He is like a rock. And finally, he advises the lady. Like that, there are different stories about Vivekananda's Vairagyam and what is the caliber of Vivekananda. So in that, in Tamil, it was written as Maya Vetki Thalai Gunindal. So that means in English it was translated as Maya was ashamed before Vivekananda. I was just seeing it. I have been correcting so many things. Fortunately, in Ramakrishna Math, they agree. You agree with whatever I say. They have some kind of relevance for what I say. I called Maharaj and told him this looks little odd. Because Maya is okay. Maya is Kali herself. And if you translate in English as ashamed, it looks somewhat not very nice. I feel maybe you can say that Maya is astonished. Looking at Vivekananda, she praises Vivekananda. Oh, you are superior, something like that. He readily agreed. He said, yes, it didn't occur to me. And so many translators have done the same thing. They all did different versions. So therefore, we need to be careful when we talk. In order to do prasamsa, in order to glorify Vivekananda, we have to see the other side also. What is that we are talking? And balance, because it goes to the public. The public read it and they will not understand. So when we glorify something, we need to be careful of the other side. Same thing about Advaitam. When we are glorifying knowledge, when we are thoroughfare discussing all this, in this sloka 40 and 41, that misconception goes and remoteness goes. In Tamil, Andandu thorum aludu prandalum mandar varuvaro imanilathil. A beautiful thing. There is a saying, Andandu thorum is so nicely, rhymely it comes in Tamil. That's why I'm telling. Tamil is equally good like Sanskrit. Any Indian language for that matter. It's not only Tamil. So, it's so rhythmic. And that means, year after year, you roll down and cry. Will the dead person come again on this land? Andandu thorum aludu brandalum mandar varuro immanilathil. It is applicable to me also. Kadasun the Gadasun cha. Kadasun the Gadasun cha. Asocha danva sochastum pranyavadam savasase. Kadasun the Gadasun cha. Na anusochanti panditaha. Na anusochanti panditaha includes the pandita himself until he becomes pandita. This body, this world, this body, as long as I associate with this body and anityam. Body anityam, world anityam, everything is anityam. And that nityam is the interlude. It is, in music you got a prelude, interlude, and then mangalam. It's the prelude, it's the interlude, it's the mangalam, and we are not able to catch that. Therefore, intellectually, understanding is one part. Shravanam, Mananam, Nityasanam. I just used to wonder why people used to quarrel. I admire Sri Ramakrishna. Why people laugh at, why people argue. What is Nityasanam? Is it not meditation? Contemplation? What is Karma Yoga? It's not meditation. Karma Yoga is the best meditation because you forget everything else. You do even karma, people focus, but it doesn't become yoga. Therefore, what we do here is not totally different from meditation, not totally different from contemplation, not totally different from yoga. We only give different names. Even Advaitam, Dvaitam, Visishtadvaitam, we give different names because different acharyas have seen it in different standpoints, the same vastu. And they have reached that vastu. This is applicable to us. Therefore, we need to focus in this, and how best it is understood is the point. But the ultimate point I was just thinking this morning is, we choose anityam to nityam in practical life. What is that we do in practical life? How much I go towards nityam? How much I get away from anityam? Because nityam is not interesting. Nityam is drab. Nityam is dull. Nityam is silent. Nityam is not visible. Nityam is not tasty. Nityam is not heard. Therefore, nityam is not interesting to me. But that is where all these tastes come from. It's remote. Therefore, I get associate with that upadhi. For the individual, the upadhi is very strong, limited. For Ishvara, the upadhi is prapancham. There, the upadhi is in control of Ishvara. Here, I am controlled by the upadhi, I am carried away by the upadhi. The same consciousness getting caught here in this trap. So, the misconception regarding Paramatma based and misconception based on Jivatma. There are two misconceptions Acharya is talking about. The misconception about Jivatma is I am limited. And the misconception about Paramatma is Parocham. He is away. And my localized misconception is Abbrahmatvam. That is called Abbrahmatvam. That's what we saw in the last class. So we need to get away from that Abbrahmatvam. For that we need to see the world. So Mahavakyam knocks off the misconceptions. The remoteness of Lord is knocked off. The limitation of Jiva is knocked off. That is, I am infinity. Last class we saw that I need not reach Lord. I need not become Lord. This is very special to Advaitam. It's not I am becoming something I don't. It's not I reach the Lord. If you take even bhakti, it's similar. Because I am not becoming anything, I am only removing what I have. I am removing myself. And somebody said, what is the best offer you can give to God? The best offer, phalam, toyam, and then maybe I give the whole world, I give everything. The best offer is maybe anything that I think of. That the greatest offer is myself. I offer myself to the Lord. Myself means my whole upadhi. I offer to Lord. From where it came, I just surrender. I surrender everything and I surrender myself to the Lord. I give myself to Lord. Lord takes over. Then I become the prapancham. I become the prapancham. I just merge with that. And there is nothing left in me. But there is only one thing left. That is consciousness. It looks so simple. But when you analyze, it looks so simple. But to do it, it's difficult. Because we are not able to dissociate with that thought of giving away what I have. Ultimately, what I need to do is I have to give myself out. But here, Advaitam comes into the help because to give myself out also, this jnanam helps. Because this mamakaram goes. Nothing is mine. Everything is Ishvara's, is a knowledge. It helps bhakti. And bhakti helps jnanam. They are friends only. They are not enemies. So, this jnanam, if it is properly applied with bhakti, if a person had already bhakti, had already done all this karma yoga and sadhana chadustayam, this Mahavakyam definitely works. We need to, in the background, we need to always think about it. That's very important. We should not just carried away by the argument side of that. This is to understand deeply that when I am lost, when I have surrendered, or when I have understood about my real nature, it doesn't make any difference. It's one and the same, from different standpoint. Afterwards, what happens, only the individual knows, nobody else knows. Therefore, we need to approach this in its proper perspective. Approach jnanam is possible by vakya vichara, the first-hand knowledge. Does it give the first-hand knowledge like the pratyaksha pramanam is the question. Acharya says, yes. If you have got the vairagyam, if you have got all other qualifications with you, this mahavakya vicharam itself is like pratyaksha pramanam. It's another pramanam. That pramanam makes you clear. As you see something which is green or red, you understand it is green, there is nothing else to prove it. And you are convinced that your nature, your real nature is the higher nature and not what you are thinking as of now. It is called Shabda Aparocha Vadaha. That's what the Acharya is entering into. So in Sloka 40, we have seen the limitedness of the individual. So Abrahmatmam Tomartasya. See, Vyavarteta tadevahi, Vyavarteta, you have to leave that, cease that. That is the message is given. In 41, the remoteness goes. Remoteness is the other problem of the jiva. Because he always thinks these virtues, the higher virtues belong to Ishvara. And that Ishvara is remote. He is not intimate. When you go to the Paramarthika level, he is intimate. He is the most, he is the dearest to me. That is what I am. Just you have to cross that step, transcend that step. Then you are loved by yourself, and that's the most loved. We'll see, we'll read 41. Tadat tasya cha parochyam idyeva kim tatashrunu purnanandaika rupena pratyak bodho vatishthathe. You have to combine with the previous sloka. Tat artham, tat artha, remoteness. Combined with the previous one. tada evahi tadatasya cha parochyam. So you have to see tada evahi, join here, and supply vyavarteta, the previous one. Vyavarteta is, Atmanepati, Vitiling, Prathama, Purushaha, Ekavachanam. You know what is Vitiling, I think. Padna chahiye, padikta vendum, pato is lot. Padi, padna chahiye is Vitiling. Therefore, vyavartate. So remoteness is knocked off. See, this Purnam, sometimes people try to criticize. This Purnam comes only because of this. That Purnam, that means the completeness, I don't have anything shortcoming, and I am unlimited, is the ultimate thing that is to be known. It is obtained to a Bhakta. Who is Bhakta means who is overwhelmed by Bhakti. Jnani means who is overwhelmed by the Jnanam part of that. That's the only difference. Otherwise both are same. But ultimately when they touch the peak of this knowledge, it merges, it becomes one and the same. There is no doubt it cannot be otherwise. It's one and the same because all Mahatmas have said that. Therefore, we should be free to face to God. So craving makes an object of experience. So some people criticize like this. But the craving, where does it lead you? Yamevaishe vrinate tena labhyaha. Even Kathopanishad Yamanamadhya, Yamadharmaraja says that. And he says, Na bhavuna srune the srutena. It's not just by listening. Na pravachanena. It's not by just teaching, not by listening. It is yam esha vrinate tena labhyaha. And Atma also is available to that person. It comes in, it's also Upanishad statement. So we should not lose sight of this thing. The same thing is said here. Therefore, people try to take and interpret it according to their understanding. And a balanced mind, and especially in this 21st century, in 2015, when all information is available, that's a positive point. The negative point is a positive point also. We can see the past, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We can see Nandanar. We can see Tyagaraja Swamigal. We can see so many people who have reached that. And the knowledge is given. And it is not denied by anybody. Therefore, this tada evahi tadatasya cha parochim, that parochim has to go. And for us, we analyze it, we understand it intellectually for the parochim to go. It can go in different ways also. But the route, whatever it is, what is absolutely needed is, as Sri Ramakrishna says, Yam Esha Vrinute Tena Labhyaha. One who is actually yearning for it, one who is looking only for that and nothing else, somehow this jnanam is definitely given. That's why we have come here. How we get this jnanam? What is that we did for this? You would have only two things, the Purvajanma, many janmas. And then in this janma, whatever the step that we have taken. Why don't you think the other fellow also can do it? Why don't you think that other fellow can do it much faster than us? It's quite possible. There is no time. It's 1 second or 2 seconds. Suddenly a small boy comes here, sits in this class and listens to what we say, and he goes back. And he goes back like Avaduta. It's quite possible. We should not lose sight of that. Because I am listening for 20 years, 25 years, I want the other fellow also to listen to 25 years is not a correct logic. Because, why? Because we have seen people like that in real life. We should not lose sight of that. Shrunu, here he says Shrunu. The student asks, so edi eva kim tata, so what? So if I know this, what will happen to me? Then Acharya says, Shrunu, Purna Ananda Eka Rupena Pratyek Bodha Avatishtate. So it is ultimately it's Purna Ananda. Unless otherwise I reach that Purna Ananda, in whatever way and the comprehension I have, my life is not over. Therefore, that Purna Ananda is possible through this. Therefore, you listen to that, he says. This Sachi Chaitanya is Purnam. It is located in me. And I have to own it up. I have to take my higher nature and I can go into that myself, is the point. When I will go into that, leave Anityam, leave unlimitedness, leave the concept of Parochyam. Parochyam, I am leaving it intellectually in this way. Somebody else can get it through love. The love will become knowledge. What is that? Anandam and Chit. Two nature of same consciousness. When it reveals itself to us. One fellow gets Anandam and understands Chit is also same. The other fellow goes through Chit, enquiry, and he gets that Anandam. If the Chit fellow is not getting Anandam, he is also incomplete. If the Anandam fellow is not getting Chit, he will get it. It's also incomplete. Both will happen. Why it is incomplete? There is something shortcoming in the individual. That's the correct understanding. Here in Atma Bodha, instantly, Acharya Atma Bodha, if you study, is very interesting. He gives similes. For every sloka, there will be a beautiful example, like the world, like the ocean, like the tree, like the lion, like that. There is one sloka where he talks about it. Upadhane akila dhare Chakanti parameshware sargasthiti layan yanti budbudhani varini. Says budbudhani varini. Varini is sea. Budbudha is also nice. Bubble. Bubble is budbudha. Budbudhani. See, the whole prapancham, Jaganti, all worlds, Jagaha Jaganti, the whole world, universe, stars, everything to Acharya looks like bubbles in the ocean. It's all just bubbles here. Therefore, it's Upadhane Akila Adhare. So Akila Adhare is Akila Adhara, the basis of Akilam and Upadhana Karanam. And it is Brahman Visek, how Sargasthiti Layan. So it is creation, maintenance and destruction. Dissolution, you can say. Dissolution is a better word. Yanti. Budbudha. All these things are Budbudhani, Varini. It's all like bubbles in the ocean. And where does it happen? Mayeva Sakalam Jatam. Mayi Sarvam Pratishtitam. Mayi Sarvam Layam Yati. Tad Brahma Adbhayam Asmi Aham. That is where he is trying to. The whole galaxy is bubbles rising and popping off in me. In Brahman means in me. So Ananda Rupena. Not getting Ananda. Here also Ananda Rupena, he says. Again he chooses the word very nicely. Ananda Rupena. It very clearly says you are Ananda Rupam. It's not necessary for you that you become Ananda. You are already Ananda. It is not getting Ananda, not becoming Ananda. You are Ananda. That also he conveys here in these sentences. Now see, the second, the 41st one is Parochyam cha tatattasya vyavarteta. Here in some books it is written as indirect knowledge, direct knowledge, and I think it confuses. It's not indirect, direct knowledge. You say it as the Parochyam is remote. That's better. Instead of indirect, it doesn't look, it's nothing direct and indirect. It is Parochyam is remote knowledge. And it has to become intimate knowledge. It has to become primary knowledge. Here you know so many stories about it. Dog and bone. The dog is biting the bone. It finds it very tasty. Actually, the taste comes from its own blood. This is a very good example. Another example is a 1-year-old child sucks the thumb. Nowadays in America it is very common. You find every American child will be sucking the thumb. Because the parents don't attend to the child. They don't give a lot of time. They don't carry the child. Even if they carry, they put it in the sack backtrack. Therefore, there is no connection between mother and baby. That's why by 14 years they become psychosomatic and psychological problems. Most of the children, psychological problems. It's now coming to our land, Bharatvarsha itself. It's coming because of this. They think it is detachment. Look at that kind of detachment. You drink and play and leave the child alone, and they call it detachment, that kind of thing. Therefore, children suck them. They have the feeling of suckling the mother. That's the idea. So it's indirectly they get the same pleasure, but actually the pleasure comes from oneself. So Nandadi eva. And finally the Ananda is in myself. Ananda is myself. It's not in or out. You go to 42. Tattvamasya vakyam cha tadatmya pratipadane lechau tattvam padartau dhau upadhaya pravartate. Here we are getting again into the mechanism of understanding. In 42, the catchword is they are getting into some mechanism of, like earlier we saw just pure grammar. Now we are going to see how we have to understand this Mahavakyam. Tattvamasya Vakyam cha tadatmya pratibhadane. How this Aikyam is established. That upadaya pravartate, how this upadi is taken out. It's exactly last time we saw that when a doctor gives a tablet or medicine, generally we don't know what the medicine, how the medicine works, what is its biochemistry aspect and all. But if you know it is better because you know what is the dosage to be given. The same dosage need not be given, should not be given to a child, to an adult and an old person. So it is better if you want to understand the meaning and how does it work, that much knowledge we have. This we enter into some kind of madanam to understand this. So how does it work? The same way in Mahavakyam we are going to say, how does this work? How in the Mahavakyam? You know that Mahavakyam is pramanam, but how does it work in us? How is it going to act in us? So the following verses, a few verses are dealing with that. Now, we know words can communicate in two ways. We have already seen this. One is primary meaning, mukhya artha. Other is secondary meaning, lakshya artha. In the meaning, before it gives meaning, there is a state. That is thought process. And mukhya vritti is there. Before mukhya vritti, mukhya artha cannot come. If I say table, you first have a vritti of table, the cognition. What is table you know. First the vritti take place and then the object comes. So before the object, first the vritti comes. By table, without even seeing the table, you know what is table. That is vritti. Even without seeing a table, without an object, you can go into whether it is lakshya is important or mukhya is important. You can analyze even without actually touching, without the object in front of you. The secondary meaning is lakshyartha. It's also again lakshana vritti should take place. Therefore, mukhya vritti will take place before mukhyartha. Lakshana vritti takes places before lakshyartha. This primary meaning does not make sense. We look for the secondary meaning. This is a tarka understanding. First, you should apply the primary meaning, simple meaning. You should not try to complicate. If you go to doctor also, they do that, you know. If you go and complain that I have cough, the doctor immediately should not come to a conclusion that you may have cancer. Let me test all. Nowadays they do it. In olden days they just ask you to show your tongue and then look at your eye and say this fellow is normal. The pada vitta, everything is okay. Therefore, it is enough to give something. They put some questions, they come to the conclusion. Now you need to be admitted to the hospital for 5 days. Scanning, all kinds of things. And finally they say, we don't understand. Anyway, we will give some medicine. I'm not joking, this happened. This happened to our Swami Yogananda, Bombay, when he had excruciating pain in his stomach. He was admitted in a hospital in Bombay, Hinduja Hospital, and I went to see him. I also stayed with him one night with him. He was lying there, I was here, and he had severe pain. Doctors after doctors came, 3 different experts, enzyme expert, this expert, that renal expert, and all those things. They all discussed and things. And then finally they gave some medicine and went. Next day the doctor came and I asked the doctor, the chief doctor, did you diagnose it? He said, honestly, we don't lie. We didn't diagnose. Then what did he give that medicine? See, we assume that this has to be like that, and anyway it will not be harmful. Then I asked him if it doesn't work or if it will have side effect. He said, honestly, we don't know. Beyond that. But after 7 days it was okay, and that was relieved. Even now we don't know why it happened. Sometimes it happens like that. But this Mahavakyam is not like that. We know. We know. And we are going to understand how this medicine works. And this is for Mukhya Vritti, it is okay. For Lakshana Vritti, you got certain ways to deal with it. You got Jagati, Ajahati, and Bhaga Lakshana. Jagati and Ajahati have you heard of? Before I mentioned about Bhaga Lakshana, Bhaga Tyaga Lakshana. You leave a part, take a part. In both sides. Bhaga Tyaga Lakshana, I have already told in the class. If you remember, it's good. If you don't remember, please know. That's all. But before coming to Bhaga Tyaga Lakshana, the Acharya is now going to come to that. Therefore, we need to go into a deeper study of that. Are you ready? That one is, supposing you go to a hotel and order idli, because we are in South India, we take idli as example, okay? You go and order a plate of idli. And the waiter brings idli, only if he brings idli, what will say? Do you have any, kya, dimag hai kya? What is that you are bringing? Only idli, how can I eat? You ask. Therefore, the waiter knows what you are telling. And he brings chutney, sambar, also 1 glass of water, all this, as if you want spoon, everything he brings. But what you ordered only idli. And he brings all these things. So the primary meaning is idli dish. The secondary meaning is other items included. The lakshyartha for the waiter is chutney and sambar. You didn't say that. And he understood that. Even a waiter can know lakshyartha. So in real life we do it. Only thing is we don't know technically. Like the medicine works. If you give medicine, it will work on the waiter also. It is not that he has to come to Vedanta 6 months course and all. It will work on him. But here what we do is how does it work? That's what we are trying to understand. And therefore here the waiter what he has taken both the primary meaning, Vakyartha, and the Lakshyartha. You understand? But idli means we understand it very easily. So another 25 minutes. I don't know what is there in the dining. So it's exactly, this one is called Ajahati. This is Ajahati. That means not excluding, including. Ajahati means you don't exclude, you include both. Both Vakyartham you have taken, Lakshyartham you have taken. What is said and what is not said, both are taken. So idli with chutney. Understood? Ajahati. Now we go to number 2, Jagati. In Jagati, okay, after eating idli and all, what do you order? Coffee. Okay, you order coffee. In this way we simply understand it in simplifying method. Therefore we take idli and coffee. And when we order coffee, 4 of us, one fellow says no sugar. Other fellow usually happens. Other fellow, the waiters get really confused. Other fellow says 1 spoon. Other fellow says 2 spoons. And somebody says even 3 spoons, some people are there. They eat too much of sugar. 3 spoons. The waiter is not mixing the spoon and giving you. He is just bringing the coffee without sugar with 1 spoon of sugar mixed, 2 spoons of sugar mixed. So he is not just bringing 2 spoons in the coffee, that you will get angry. Hey, I asked for 2 spoons, you are bringing 2 spoons. He said, you asked for 2 spoons, I brought 2 spoons. Where is the sugar? Therefore, here Jagati means you have to leave Lakshyartha, you have to take only Lakshyartha. Lakshyartha is sugar, not spoon. Therefore, he is not bringing the spoon and he is bringing the sugar. Look at this waiter. He can easily understand Mahavakyam. So simple. So, he is bringing, this is Jagati Lakshana. So, this is Jagati, Ajagati Lakshana we have seen. This is Jagati Lakshana. We cannot take both of this. That's the point. In Mahavakyam, we cannot take both of this. Only Lakshyartham also we cannot take. We cannot take Vakyartham plus Lakshyartham also we cannot take. These are all coming into Tarka and all those things. So luckily we are not going deeper into that. We take only the cream portion of that and understand it. The third is Bhagatyaga Lakshana. So here only we have something to do with the Mahavakyam. So in this primary meaning is partially included. How after breakfast, if you go to 5-star hotels, they give some mango. Sometimes they give full mango also. So this fellow says, I ate mango after breakfast. Okay? And in mango, you got a big seed. That's why mango example is a big seed is inside. He doesn't eat the seed. We understand that in mango, when he ate, he did not eat the skin also. He ate only the pulp. Therefore, I ate mango when he says, you and I understand that he did not eat the skin and he did not eat the seed. Therefore, we take only the pulp. The part is taken, the whole is not taken. It is also understood. It is also we use in everyday life. But we don't know that is Bhagatyaga Lakshana. But we do it every day. Every day we are using in our language. That's why Panini is not that difficult. Because we use it every day. That's what Panini is telling about. If you are used to it, then in Sanskrit the problem is you don't use it in day-to-day life. Therefore you find it so difficult. See, once in a way he knows better. Once you do yoga today and after 6 months you do. How will you do it? It's the same case with Sanskrit. We only see the skeleton. There is no blood. There is no flesh. There is no nervous system. Only the skeleton we are reading. Therefore, when the skeleton comes, it looks like ghost. We are afraid. If the same thing is with flesh, bone, everything, it looks so beautiful. That's the case. So here Acharya is giving with flesh, bone, everything. So it is not that difficult because in everyday life it is there. So also in day-to-day life when we say this fellow is fat, we mean the body. We don't mean that his brain is fat or his intellect is fat. And we say that this fellow is brilliant. And we don't say that his body is brilliant. I only say this fellow is brilliant. And you understand that this fellow is brilliant, that means his intellect, his intellectual part we are taking. Therefore, there are 4 meanings we have come across. One is straight away the primary meaning, Mukhyartha. And then in Lakshyartha, you have got 4 different meanings. You take Jagati, Ajagati, Bhagatyaga, Lakshana. All these 4, you take only 1. Every day we use all the 4 meanings, isn't it? When we take this is idli, we show it is normal, simple meaning. When we order to a waiter, bring idli, it becomes ajagati. And when we order for sugar, 1 spoon of sugar, it becomes jagati. When we talk about I ate a mango, it becomes bhagatyaga lakshana. Same thing, everyday life we are using it. Only thing is, these Mahatmas have analyzed these things and tell how we can reach the Mahavakyam and understand that. Now we see this Tattvamsadi Vakyam Lakshau Padarthau is again dual. It's Dvivachanam of both Tat and Tvam. Take the secondary meaning. Here I told about Shrudis, Sarasamudranam and all. What they do is they go into, just for your understanding, we need not go into that. Just for your understanding, they go thoroughfare in detail I told. Then they go and apply Jagati, Ajagati, what happens? If you apply, Acharya is telling you should not apply, then when you apply those things, you will not understand Mahavakyam. Therefore, you have to take Bhaga, Tyaga, Lakshana. And also they try to apply one to on one side, the other to other side. Look how much they have gone. All these acharyas, they have gone so much into detail in order to establish Advaita. Supposing you say, for Tatpadam you apply Jagati, for Tvam you apply Ajagati, or you apply in the reverse, or you apply for both sides Jagati, both sides Ajagati, that kind of thing, and they go into deep arguments. Somehow I was not interested in that. If somebody is interested, they can go. If from person to person, it will differ. Yes, I know, I am very clear that it is Brahman and I accept it. That is enough. Then if you go to all these details, then it's a different ball game. You can, some people will keep playing football in the TV, you know. There's just a TV in front. Fellows are playing. Now if you go to US, all IT engineers, they leave their wife and they have their remote. And the wife is also M&A, only Mandi. This fellow doesn't even look at the children, look at wife. And the child, it is looking at Dora. Like that. The wife, serial. Tamil serial from Sun TV. I'm not exaggerating, even has birth. Exactly, I have seen in families after family in US, the gents after marriage, they leave their wife and children. They all assemble together, have a glass of wine or beer. This is the culture. And they have a big screen and they play this remote. All men, without exception. It's very interesting. There is knowledge. So we take Tadatmya Pratipadane. For revealing the Aikyam, we need to take this one. So Pratipadane is Vishesh Saptami. This is side dish, Mari. We take side dish, the grabber. So Acharya is slowly getting into deep discussions. So in this 42nd sloka, the important thing is Upadhaya Pravartate and Tadatmya Pratipadane. For doing these two things, mechanism of understanding is necessary. The mechanism that you have seen is Bhagatyaga Lakshanam. We'll move to the next sloka. Hitva dvau shabalau vachau Vakyam Vakyartha Bodhane Yata Pravartate Smabhihi Tatha Vyakhyata Madarat. Here, primary meaning is rejected. Why we should not take primary meaning? The Acharya is going to deal with that. So, Tata Vakyadam Adarat, after having carefully explained Vakyam, the sentence, Hitva rejects, Thou Shabalau Vachau. It's removing this Shabalau, sometimes it's written qualified meaning, right? It's better to take it as endowed with attributes. Shabalau Vachau means Vakyam endowed with attributes. Shabala. So without the attributes you have to take. With the attributes you take, it will not work. So rejects the two expressed primary meaning. Directly expressed qualified meaning is in some books it is written. You have to take, it rejects the primary meaning. Primary meaning is straight away Vakyartham. So therefore we cannot take it. Because it doesn't, both sides don't get equated if you take the primary meaning. Why? I think this argument comes in Rama Gita. If somebody is interested, study that. This particular argument is in detail dealt with. So Jivatma has 5 factors, this Sariratrayam and reflected consciousness and original consciousness. So Jivatma has finite virtue because of the association with Sariratrayam. The early class when we started, we said about Anityam. That's what is attractive and that's where we get caught with. And the primary meaning of Paramatma also has 5 factors. We can't apply the primary meaning for Mahavakyam. And other philosophers criticize Adi Shankara because it's very clear for Dvaitin, it's very clear for a Visishta Advaitin. There are different types. These are different, therefore they are not matching. Why don't we take it as it is? But here the brilliance of Adi Shankara comes. He says, because it is not clear, Mahavakyam should have some meaning, isn't it? We can't just leave it. Tattu Tvam Asi, it says, it is not equal. Therefore, that is not important. I take something which I understand as important. You can't say, why this Mahavakyam? He says this, therefore we need to go further. That's the idea. Why I can't take it? Because it is Mahavakyam, it equates these 2 sides which are appearing to be not equal. Therefore, what makes them equal is a further study. There is a joke to that, it's generally said. Soham, the Advaitin says, Sahaham, Soham. Then the Visishtadvaitin comes, Advaitin, all Visishtadvaitin, Dvaidam and all same. Because for an Advaitim, it is whether Visishtadvaitam or Dvaidam, it is multiplicity. The one with many adjectives or many nouns are all the same. Here it is one, Ekameva Dvitiyam. So he comes and adds a da, it becomes Dasoham. So this fellow says Soham, he is, I am he. And if Visishtadvaitin comes and writes da, add, nicely he puts da, and it becomes Dasoham. He says Dasoham is superior, not Soham. And then this Advaitin puts another sa again. Then it becomes Sada Soham. You put another sa, simple, Sada Soham. So the fellow retains Soham, therefore he puts Sada Soham. The fellow again doesn't leave, he again comes. He comes, puts another da in before. Now we read what it happens. Dasa Aham. Dasa Dasoham. Dasanukku Dasanurva. This will continue. There will be no end to this. So whenever I say Soham, the other fellow will say Dasoham. I will say Sada Soham, that fellow will say Dasoham. Both are same here. No big difference in the way in which you understand it. Therefore, Acharya is trying to establish, going further and trying to know that. See, one fellow says, whatever it be, let it be. Let me forget myself and let me surrender, that's enough. I am not getting into the argument. Adi Shankara says, let us go further into the argument. Let us know that also. That's the difference. There is not big difference in practice. That's how we should take it. Vachav dau hitva, giving up the vachyartha of both sides. Sabalau, endowed with attributes. Both sides endowed with attributes, sabalau, then vakyam pravartate. Vakyartha bodhane, for revealing its meaning. This Vakyartha bodhane, Artha bodhane is Visheshabdami, Nimitta Sabdami also you can say. Asmabihi. Who are these Asmabihi? The teachers and commentators, including Acharya. We feel like that. How? Adarat. Carefully, reverentially. See, Adar is reverence in India also, isn't it? See, it's reverential. But actually here it means carefully we have analyzed this and ultimately we come to the conclusion that we should not take the primary meaning. So here upadhaya pravartate tadatmya Pratipadane. These are the, in the Tattvamasi Adi Vakyam. So it's not only for Tattvamasi, it's for all. Adi Vakyam. It's Pranjanam Brahma and Aham Brahmasmi. Any Mahavakyam you need to take the secondary meaning only. We'll now go to 44. Alambanataya bhati Gosmat pratyaya shabdayoho Antakarana sambhinna Bodhasattvam padabhidaha. The 44th sloka, Acharya is talking about the primary meaning for the Tvam-padam, I. Consciousness is mixed with mind and others. Now he actually comes to the primary meaning. Now only he comes to the primary meaning. Earlier he has gone straight to the Lakshyartham. Remember, for Tvam-padartham, he never talked about Vachyartham. He straight away went into Lakshyartham because we know the primary meaning. Now he is, so far we have been talking about the primary meaning, but Acharya never said a word. Now in this sloka, in the 41st sloka, he is now trying to bring that for comparison. Why you should not take the primary meaning? Because after giving the explanation of Jagati, Ajagati and Bhagatyaga Lakshanam, now he is introducing the primary meaning. And say why you should not take the primary meaning. I consciousness is mixed up with other things. It's not just the conscious self he knew, it is mixed up with other things. That's what Acharya is trying to establish here. Asmat pratyaya sabdayoho. The idea of the word I, alambanataya abhati. So there is an object included here. So alambanam generally means symbol. You have a statue, saligrama, that is alambanam. General meaning. But here in this case, the meaning should be taken as object or vishaya. You have a vishaya. That's the meaning you have to take in this context. Both the I thought and I word. See, when you say I, always you should remember anything you say. The first is vritti, the thought, and then is the object. First the thought, vritti comes, and then the object comes. So it's got an alambanam, vishayam, object, material. When I say chair, it's the material. But the thought and word should have an object. There is an object, there is a thought, there is a word. There are three things when I say an object's name. This is the idea. When I say chair, chair is a word, chair is a thought, and there is a real chair. So there are three things coming. When I utter the word chair, there are three things come. Object of the word aham, alambanam. Here, the individual has this alambanam. He is not only taking bodha consciousness, he is taking it, he is just making it sambhinna. Sambhinna is sahita. What is sahita? That three shariram sahita. He takes all this shariram and everything, but he is that consciousness only. That is the actual meaning. But for him, when you take the primary meaning, as you have seen in so many classes, when I say I, the body also comes, the mind also comes, the buddhi also comes. In short, in Vedantic parlance, the Sarira Trayam and the reflected consciousness, the four other unwanted things, they come with consciousness along with that. You don't walk alone. All these four come with you. And you forget yourself and get associated with the other four. That is the problem of taking primary meaning. Tvam-pada abhidaha, primary meaning of Tvam-pada. Commonly understood by people, we leave the fifth one. We take all the other four. That's the problem we take. Pratyaya here means thought. So it is called Shabda Pratyaya Vishaya. So when it is Gata, you can say Gata Shabda Pratyaya Vishaya. In the same way, if you say Aham, I, you say Aham Shabda Pratyaya Vishaya. This is how we understand the word I. If we take the primary meaning, which is not right, that's what the Acharya says here. And what is that he says in this? Antakarana sambhinna bodha. You take antakaranam. Antakaranam, Acharya gives one word, antakaranam, mind. You have to take all the three shariram. Sushma shariram, karna shariram, and stula shariram. Acharya gives one word. That actually means that you are taking all the three along with reflected consciousness. Chitabhaza. Which is not right. That you think as alambhanam, the object, the thought and word. When you say aham, the thought of aham, the object of aham, the vritti, the word, all these things you are that just mixed up. That is what is your alambhanam, which is not right. Tvam pada abhitaha. That's not right. In the afternoon class, I think one team has to present a workshop. So next week, what will happen, we don't know, because Acharya comes and he would like to take one or two classes also. I will consult with him. He has expressed that he may spend some time with you and during Satsangam or one or two classes, Vankananda Swamiji. And the final day, Paramatma Swamiji will take class. Therefore, in the afternoon session, you need about 15-20 minutes. Is it okay? 20 minutes is fine. So we'll read Vakyavritti for 30 minutes. We'll conclude as much possible now. We'll leave one or two classes for the next week. And like that we can conclude and also review a few slokas when we do that. So we will have the Vakyavritti for 30 minutes and later we can take it up. It's okay? 30 minutes. 30 and... Now anyway, we can have a time of 25 to 30 minutes so that we will be able to complete the workshop session also.